Hi guys, this is George back here with another vlog, and today I'm here at Universal Studios Florida. I'm looking forward to getting back into the park, getting back on my favourite rides. I'm also going to be having my final rides on Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket today, the iconic Mara X-Car coaster that's been operating here since 2009. A very iconic ride, and it's going to be sad to see it go. A very polarising ride. Some people love it, some people hate it. I've always really enjoyed it, but no matter what, it is going to be closing on the 18th of August 2025 to make way for something new, and I'll talk all about what I think that's going to be, and what the park have been teasing, and all sorts of stuff like that when I'm in the park. Looking forward to getting back on some of my other favourites as well, such as Revenge of the Mummy, Escape from Gringotts, E.T. Adventure. There's lots of rides here in this park, and there's also a new nighttime spectacular for me to see tonight as well, or new since my last visit anyway. I believe it started up last year, and that's called Sensational, a symphonic spectacular I think it is. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And here's a look at the iconic entrance to the park. It's even more exciting seeing this time rather than other times, because this is my first visit here, knowing that we're getting a Universal Studios theme park in the UK, which is so exciting. Like, in 2031, we're going to be seeing this in the UK, which is absolutely insane. I'm so excited for it. And there's a look at Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket over there. Yeah, I'm going to have to get loads of shots of this today, because this is such an iconic ride. It's going to be so weird not seeing this coaster here anymore. So let's head in. I'll probably make that my first ride. And so 2025 is actually a very special year for Universal Studios Florida, because they're actually celebrating 35 years of operation, which is really exciting. 35 years since this park opened, and yeah, they celebrated their big birthday a couple of days ago. I didn't realise that the birthday was going to be during my trip, otherwise I would have made sure I was here that day. To be here on the actual day, but yeah, I didn't realise. It was the day I was at Legoland, and then I saw online that everyone was posting like happy 35th birthday, and I was like, oh damn it, I should have made sure, I should have looked at when it opened and made sure I was here on that day. But oh well, it's not the end of the world. I'm here a couple days after, so that's what matters. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting back on Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. I did go on it the other day when I was here. I did an Islands of Adventure vlog about a week ago, so if you haven't seen that, then yeah, check that out. But when I was here that day, I did go off into the studios to do a few rides. I didn't film it that day because I'm doing a full vlog today from this park, but if you haven't seen my full vlog from Islands of Adventure yet, then definitely go and check that out. So I just had a ride on Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, and I really enjoyed that. It's a really good ride. A lot of people find it rough, uncomfortable, and just don't enjoy it. But I think it's a really good ride. There's some great airtime on it. You get to choose a song on there that you listen to on the way round. There used to be a lot more choice on there though. They used to have 6 songs per category, like per music genre. Now they only have 1 for each one. So yeah, they did take a lot of them off, unfortunately, since my last visit. However, they have still got Sandstorm on there, which is the one that I know a lot of people always like listening to, and that's the one that I always choose on there as well. It was fantastic. Nice and smooth on there. It was towards the back row, even towards the back row. Not too bad. Like a lot of people say, it towards the back row it gets really rough. I don't really get that, to be honest. I don't find it very rough at all. Sure, it's not smooth. It's got a couple of little jolty sections. However, it really isn't that bad. It's pretty smooth. There's some funny transitions on there as well, like you kind of whip from one side to the other. Some good airtime moments. It's a long ride. It's really good fun. I do really enjoy it, and I will miss it when it closes here. So I'll have to make sure I get a few rides on it today. So over here towards the far end of Rip Ride Rocket's layout, construction walls have already been going up, and over the last few days there has been a lot of rumours that this is going to be a Ghostbusters themed roller coaster replacing it. There was a lot of rumours before about it being Fast and Furious, but now a few days ago Universal posted on their social media something about Ghostbusters. And since then there have been a lot of rumours thinking, is it going to be a Ghostbusters theme? Looking at these construction walls as well, because they literally posted that on their social media just after this went up. And this looks very Ghostbusters-like as well, from what people are saying. So I wonder if we are going to be seeing a Ghostbusters themed coaster here. It definitely looks likely. A lot of people have been suggesting the name Ghoster Coaster, which I think is absolutely brilliant. So if it is going to be a Ghostbusters theme, I really hope they call it Ghoster Coaster, because that's a well good name. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what does replace this ride. And here's a look at the Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon race through New York. I've never actually been on this ride. I was going to go on it, but then I found out it doesn't have a single rider queue, and it's advertised 25 minutes. And apparently it's terrible, so I don't fancy waiting 25 minutes for something that's not going to be very good. So I'm going to go to Revenge of the Mummy over here instead. Revenge of the Mummy is an absolutely fantastic indoor roller coaster. Lots of show scenes in there. It's a long ride, and there's loads of animatronics and fire effects in there as well. Of course, you start off going through a couple of show scenes where it's like, get out of here, this whole place is a trap. And then you go through into this big scene where you have the mummy on a screen in front of you, and then all of these statues come up from the side and there's fire blasts. You then go through into another section where it then drops you backwards. You turn around up a launch lift hill through a big coaster section in the dark. You then stop again, go into what is the fake ending. This is a bit noisy. Yeah, you go to the fake ending where it stops you and you think it's the end of the ride, but then the whole ceiling starts lighting on fire, and then you launch back out through another coaster section, and then that's the end of the ride. It's a really, really good coaster. One of my favourite indoor coasters in the world. So now I'm going to go for a ride on Transformers The Ride 3D. This is the same ride system as The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man in Islands of Adventure. However, this one's oh, look at Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket over there. This one's nowhere near as good, but I am going to go for a ride on it. So let's go. So Transformers was better than I remembered it, to be honest. There was some theming in there. I thought I remembered it just being like all screens. However, there is some theming in there to look at. However, it's still not one of my favourite rides here at the park, but it's definitely better than I remember. When that opened though, that was way ahead of its time. The technology in there is absolutely fantastic. The ride system, the effects, the theming, it is a good ride. Still not one of my favourites, Universal attractions. However, do you know what? It was a lot better than I was expecting, but it's still got nothing on Spider-Man over in Islands of Adventure. But yeah, I did actually enjoy it, and I got on with it in about 5 minutes as well with that single rider. The main queue was advertised 50, single rider took about 5 minutes, so that was really good. The single rider queues here in this park will save you so much time. A lot of the time, whenever you go somewhere, single rider can be a little bit of a gamble. You never know if it's actually going to be shorter, or it could even be longer than the main queue. You never know. But with this park, apart from Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, which does get pretty busy, the single rider queues here, there's barely ever anyone in there, and they move so fast as well. Like, you move forward and they'll be like with Revenge of the Mummy, whenever I go use that queue, there's never been like more than 5 or 6 people in there, and then they'll get like, sometimes they'll get 2 or 3 single riders on one train. Like with that, there was multiple single riders getting on one. They get through the single riders really fast. They do move really fast, like even 50 minutes there, and I got on in 5 minutes. Massive time saver. And here's a look at one of the most loved rides here at Universal Studios Florida. Everybody absolutely loves this ride, including myself. It's a brilliant ride, I have to say. It's not, it's terrible. This is Fast and Furious Supercharged. I haven't been on this since 2019. If this has got a single rider, I'll go on it, because I haven't been on it for a while, just to remind myself of how bad it is. Oh, it looks like it's only 15-minute main queue anyway. Do you know what? I'll wait 15 minutes for this. I haven't been on it for a long time. Well, it does have a single rider queue, so let's see how long this takes. The main queue is only 15 minutes anyway, so I imagine it'll be pretty much walk on in here. Let's go and see. Remind myself of what this is like for the laughs. I don't think I have ever been on a ride that more accurately describes the phrase, "Is that it?" Because that is absolutely pointless. You go up to it, and it's got this massive show building. It takes up a huge amount of space. You could fit something massive in there, and yet you go in there and you think, oh, this is going to be pretty good. You're going into this massive building, the queue line looks pretty well themed. You go into the station, there's lots of theming in there. You then go out of the station and into the first scene. When you go into the first scene, it's really well themed. But then unfortunately that's where it ends, and you stop for a bit, you watch a screen, you then go into this main like 360 screen room where you watch like a 2-minute film where it's pretty much just driving along a road, and then that's the end of the ride. Like, I'm sorry, but I've come to a theme park to go on rides, not to know what it feels like to drive down the motorway. I do that every day of my life. That is literally the most pointless ride I've ever been on. If I was Universal, I would be embarrassed to have that ride attached to my name. It is absolutely terrible. What is the point? It only opened in 2018 as well. That's not even like that old. Come on, let's get rid of that ride and put something major. And the fact that they're moving Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket before that baffles me, because Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket is actually a good ride. That thing is terrible, and you could fit something massive in that area. Such a waste of space. But what isn't a waste of space is the area that I've just walked into, and that's Diagon Alley. This is one of the most immersive themed areas in the world, and I'm about to go for a ride on Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts, but I'm going to turn the camera around now and show you this view. And here it is, you can see Gringotts Bank down there, the dragon at the top that breathes fire every so often. This is an amazing themed area. And here's the entrance to Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts, just at the side of the dragon. The one downside with this land is the fact that it's quite compact, and this area gets very busy, and on a busy day it can literally feel packed. It feels like it's impossible to move around. Like, it gets so busy, it feels like it's so packed that you can't even breathe. It just feels that busy when you come here on a busy day. Luckily today it's not too bad though. So I've just had a ride on Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts. It's a fantastic indoor roller coaster, very immersive. Of course, you wear the 3D glasses on there. It is a lot of screens on there, however, there's lots of theming to look at as well. What was really good with that as well is I went down the single rider queue, and it was all the way down to the bottom of the stairs. Every time I've used that single rider queue, I've just walked straight up the stairs, straight into the station. There's only like 2 people in front of me, if that. Like, most of the time I go up there and there's no one in there. But yeah, today it was all the way at the bottom of the stairs, so I was thinking, oh no, this is going to be really busy. This might take a while. I was debating whether I should bail the single rider queue and go in the main queue instead, because I was thinking the single rider might take just as long, if not longer, but it went so fast. As much as there was a lot of people there and it was right at the bottom of the stairs, it went up so quickly. I was literally in and out of there, 15 minutes, absolutely brilliant. So even if the single rider queues do look quite long here, chances are they're going to move very quickly. Hollywood Rip Ride Rockets looks like it moves quite slowly. I've never used it before. I'll have to use it at some point today, see how fast it goes, and then I can talk about that one. But yeah, I've never used that one. Hagrid's I definitely wouldn't recommend it for, because everyone tries to use single rider for that, because it gets massive queues, so everyone thinks, oh, I'll go in single rider to try and skip that massive queue, but then that ends up getting massive as well. Also, Velocicoaster can get very busy on a busy day as well. Even today, I mean, it's quiet today, so the main queue's been like 25-30 minutes for most of the day. When the queue's like that for Velocicoaster, I'd recommend just sticking in the main queue, because the single rider queue backs right up to the entrance. I don't know how long it actually takes from the back of the entrance, but if the main queue's only 25 minutes, you're probably better off just going through there anyway, because at least still you're constantly moving, and even still, it's only 25 minutes. Like, chances are, even if the single rider queue does move really fast, you're probably going to be in there for only another 5-10 minutes extra, and you get to see all the theming in there as well. But yeah, Gringotts, you do skip out a lot of the theming in there. Like, I've never been down the main queue in there. I'd like to see it at some point, because apparently it looks like there's like a lift section that you go in where it takes you down. I'd like to see that, and you go into the main big room at the start as well, where you get this massive opening of the bank. You do see a little bit of that in the single rider, but it's not the same as walking in through the main queue from what I've seen of like photos. So I'd like to see it at some point. Maybe later I'll queue in the main queue for it. But yeah, it was a great ride, got on it really quickly. So yeah, some great theming in there. It's a nice long ride as well. It's a really enjoyable ride. Just want to document this with like all the views we can see Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, because this park's gonna feel so strange without this ride. I've always really enjoyed it, and it's been such an iconic roller coaster ever since it's opened. I've known about it pretty much my whole life. There it goes over the top of the lift hill. Yeah, I'll do a loop around the park, go on some of these rides around here, and then I'll probably head back to Rip Ride Rocket and go for another ride. Test out that single rider queue. So I'm now going to go for a ride on Men in Black Alien Attack, which is a fantastic interactive dark ride. Really looking forward to getting back on this. Men in Black Alien Attack is definitely one of the most underrated dark rides I've been on. It's absolutely fantastic. You never hear people talking about it. When I first went on this ride in 2019, I was really surprised by it because, again, I hadn't heard very much about it, so I wasn't really expecting a lot from it, but I was absolutely blown away by it. The theming in there is amazing. I love the ride system with the fact that it's like a normal tracked dark ride, but then you're going through and at random points it just starts spinning, which is really cool. It's a pretty fast spin as well, actually. It's pretty intense. It's so much fun. It's interactive as well. It can be a bit difficult to figure out what you're shooting. I never really know what I'm shooting on there. I tend to just shoot at random things and hope for the best, really. And it turns out to be a pretty good strategy. I got a decent score then, so, but not as good as some other people. Oh my God, some of the scores, some of the points you can get on there just go up so fast. There was one point where I was in the lead about like 35,000 and someone else was on about 25,000, and then like after one more seeded I looked back down to check my score and I saw the guy next to me's score and he'd suddenly got to about 130,000. I was like, how did you do that? Like, it's literally some of the targets in there when you hit them are insane. It's difficult to know what you're shooting. However, yeah, I tend to just shoot at random things and see what happens. Over here we've got the Simpsons ride. This is another one of those rides that's not great. If it's got a single rider, maybe I'll give it a go, because I haven't been on it since 2019. Has it got a single rider? I don't think it does. Yeah, I'll forget about doing this one then. There's been a lot of rumours about this ride leaving the park in the not so distant future. Obviously, maybe it's going to take a bit longer than we originally thought now that Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket's going first. But there have been a lot of rumours that this area is going to be rethemed to Pokemon. But who knows what's going to happen. I feel like they might keep this around for a bit. If they are going to use like a Pokemon theme, I feel like they might use that in Epic Universe rather than here. So we'll have to see what happens with this one. So last time I was at this park, this whole area was closed off because it was being rethemed. So this used to be a Woody Woodpecker themed section, but it's been rethemed into a DreamWorks section. So yeah, this was all under construction. Last time I was here, they've added this new sign here, and I'm gonna go in there now and explore it for the first time. Of course, you've got the coaster in there, which I did ride when it used to be Woody's Nut House Coaster, I think it was called. Now it's called the Troller Coaster. So you've got Trolls, Kung Fu Panda, and Shrek all mixed in to this area. I'm pretty sure it's those three that are all in this area. I don't think there's any more, but yeah, it's all kind of brought together within this mini land here. So you've got Shrek's house just over there, where you can meet Shrek and Donkey. What have we got over here? King Harold's Swamp Symphony. Here we go. So I assume you stand on these lily pads, and then is it going to make a noise? There we go. Yeah, it does. Oh, they all make different sounds when you step on the different lily pads. There we go. And there's the entrance to the Kung Fu Panda section, which has got lots of different water play areas in where you can cool down. I think there's a show somewhere in there as well. I'm not sure. I feel like the old show that used to be here was replaced by a Kung Fu Panda one, so I imagine that's in there, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, it's quite a small area. However, they've done quite nice with it. Obviously, it's not as good as a lot of other things that Universal are building these days. However, you've got to think this was a re-theme rather than building something ground up. If they had built this ground up, I'm sure that we would have seen it done to a much higher standard. But it's not bad. It's a nice family area. Here we go. It's actually here where the show is. The DreamWorks Imagination Celebration. There's a look at the show times. So yeah, that's just opposite this little play area here and the Troller Coaster. So I was going to go for a ride on E.T. Adventure, but it's closed for maintenance apparently. Apparently it's having some enhancements done. Luckily I did get on it the other day when I came here. I don't know if that's all day because there was nothing advertised about it, but yeah, that's closed at the moment. I'll come back later to see, but I'm assuming that's not going to be opening today, so I'm really glad I got on that the other day because it's a fantastic ride. It's actually one of my favourite rides in this park. It's really well themed experience, a really nice ride. Just like a classic classic Universal dark ride there, where you sit on a little bike and it takes you through all the scenes, and you go to E.T.'s planet and you save his planet, and then you have a little party on there. It's a really nice ride, not the longest, but it's a really nice like classic dark ride. So it's been a while since I last spoke to you, and I've done a couple of attractions. I went to see the Bourne Stuntacular for the first time. Yeah, I'd never seen that before, and I was really impressed with it actually. It was about a 20-minute show, loads of effects in there, some really cool sets. What I really liked was that there was a massive screen behind the stage, and then you also had all of the sets on there as well, and they blended the sets with what was on the screen, and it was absolutely brilliant how they did that. Like a lot of stuff, you couldn't even tell what was screen and what was actual set. It was really impressive. Loads of cool stunts in there. There were fire effects, loads of explosions in there on the screen. It was absolutely brilliant, action-packed. The acting was brilliant in there. I'm really glad I went to watch that. It was absolutely brilliant. And then I also went on Villain Con Minion Blast as well, which is a good fun attraction. So with that one, you actually stand on a moving walkway. It's like an interactive dark ride, but instead of an actual ride system, you're just standing on a moving walkway, and then you're shooting at all the screens. There's lots of theming around in there as well. It's a pretty decent attraction. I do enjoy it. The guns get a little bit heavy on there though when you're holding them for a while, like trying to shoot them. It's not very clear what you're trying to shoot on there as well. Like, again, just like I do with Men in Black, I just end up shooting random stuff on the screens and see what happens really, because it's not always particularly clear what you're supposed to be shooting. However, yeah, it's still a good fun ride. Unfortunately, there is inclement weather in the area, so a lot of attractions have gone down. I was going to go on Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. That's gone down, so I'm not going to be able to get on that. As again, like Velocicoaster in the other parks gone down, because I was going to do Rip Ride Rocket, then go into Islands of Adventure for a bit, but a lot of the rides over there are closed now, like Incredible Hulk, Velocicoaster, they're all closed. So yeah, I'll probably stick around in this park, maybe go on Revenge of the Mummy again, and Escape from Gringotts as well. Right then, so it's been a few hours since the last clip, and I went into Islands of Adventure, went on a few rides in there. Velocicoaster was delayed, and as soon as it was testing again, everything went down due to inclement weather. So I went on a few rides in there, which is good. I went on River Adventure, Incredible Hulk, and Forbidden Journey, but then yeah, everything went down for weather, and everything's been down for probably about the last hour and a half. Well, all of the outdoor stuff anyway, and looking over there, the clouds are looking very gloomy, so I'm worried Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket's not going to reopen again, and I don't think I'm going to be getting my final ride. Of course, I had a ride on it earlier, which was great, and I'm really glad I did get on it earlier. However, I was looking forward to one more ride to say goodbye to it, but I don't think that's going to happen. Sensational is going to be starting in about 40 minutes. Looking over at those clouds, I'm worried even that's going to get cancelled. And also, Islands of Adventure is open till 10 o'clock, so after this park closes at 9, after Sensational, I was going to go in there and get another ride on Velocicoaster, and I'm worried that's not going to reopen today either, so that's the situation we're in right now. I'm glad I got on Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket earlier, but I don't think I'm going to be getting another ride. I think my ride earlier was going to be my final ride, so thank you for all the rides over the years. Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket is a great ride. I am going to miss it, but I am looking forward to seeing what replaces it. But yeah, it is sad to see such an iconic ride go, especially when it is a ride actually this good as well. So yeah, it'll be sad to see that go. But yeah, hopefully things will all work out. This weather will clear up, and hopefully Sensational will run as normal, and also hopefully Velocicoaster will reopen. I did get a ride on it this morning before I came into this park. I went straight to Islands of Adventure, got on Velocicoaster, and then came in here. So I did get a ride on it today. However, again, I was looking forward to one more ride of the trip. However, I'm a bit worried that's not going to happen. So it's just under 10 minutes to go until Sensational starts. It's just started raining, so hopefully it's not going to be too bad throughout the show, but not too much longer now, and I'll put in some footage of it.
Of movies. Beautiful.
just saw lots of footage there from Sensational, a symphonic spectacular, and yeah, that was really good. I really enjoyed that. Loads of fantastic fountains in there. They were massive as well. They went up so high, and of course you had the projections in there as well, like the water projections that were really good, representing loads of different classic films. There were so many different films represented in there. You had like Jaws, Harry Potter, Jurassic World, Kong, just to name a few of them. There was so many in there. It was about a 20-minute show. The music was great as well. It's all about how the music connects with us and how these movies connect with us as well, and the movies and the music come together to create this spectacular. It was a really good show. I did really enjoy that, and it's been a great day here at Universal. Of course, the weather hasn't been great for the last few hours. It has stopped a lot of the rides from opening. I have just looked on the app and Velocicoaster's open though, so I'm going to head over there now and hopefully get a ride. Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket is done for the day, unfortunately, so I'm not going to get another ride on that, but I did get to ride it earlier, which was good. And yeah, it was a great ride for my final ride, and I am going to miss it. It is going to be sad. As well as that, I've got on loads of other rides today, literally so many. I've went on Revenge of the Mummy lots of times, Escape from Gringotts, Villain Con, Men in Black a couple of times. I did that. There are so many rides in this park, and you can get on so many rides so quickly using the single rider queues. They are fantastic. But yeah, it's been a great day here at Universal Orlando, and now I'm going to head into Islands of Adventure to end the day with Velocicoaster. So that's now the end of this vlog here. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at George Kelly and follow me on Twitter at George Kelly. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe everyone, and I'll see you all later. Bye.